I'm on
Everyone,
live.
your internets are good, right?
Yes. Good
Yeah, yeah,
evening,
yeah.
friends,
That's all
and
good.
we are live. Good evening, friends. Yes, Nishita, over to you.
Hey, friends, good evening. I'm Nishita, founder of Pink Lotus and National Growth and Quality of WeDo. Hey, Sapna,
Hi.
over to
Hi,
you.
friends. Good evening. I'm Swapna Kulkarni. I'm founder of Abila Private Limited in the field of renewable energy. We are a solution specialist and promote use of green energy at large to reduce use of fossil fuels. I'm also a Reiki healer, a tarot card reader. I do signature analysis and few more healing modalities like circle symbol, Zebu symbol, to name a few. Currently, I'm working as the president with Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Charitable Trust and president of WeDo Mumbai chapter. Over to you, Nishita.
Hey, now let's talk about WeDo. WeDo is Women Entrepreneurship Development Organization, which has been founded by Mrs. Kadambari Umapati in 2018. It is to financially empower women through the entrepreneurship. Video Club is a platform where we focus on developing business through the contacts, networking, and collaborations. We believe in empowering women entrepreneurs by providing them with required training programs like e-platforms and business consultations. Today, Vido has a presence in over 6 cities all over India, like Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Coimbatore, Pune, and we are still growing. Sapna, how we understand Teachers' Day is talented, educated, adorable, charming, helpful, encouraging, and responsible. And our guest this evening is an absolute example of what I just said. They are the one who have created their niche in each sector or their own unique style. Don't you agree with me?
Truly said Nishita. And you know that the World's Teachers' Day 2023 will be observed on Thursday, October 5th, and with the theme, The Transformation of Education Begins with Teachers. And when we speak about transformations, the thing that comes to our mind is change. And as rightly said, our guest this evening has brought in the unique styles to create the base right for the students. Please join me to welcome Mrs. Parul Shah. She's a psychologist, a graphologist, phonics expert, and a worksheet designer. Founder of BLA Angel classes, her expertise is into phonics and grammar. She has also helped many women entrepreneurs start their phonics journey. She has been instrumental in delivering worksheets for the students across the globe. She has been felicitated with Billenium Dvas Education Award in 2023 and also has authored a book, BLA Phonics book.
And let me welcome Mrs. Hina Acharya, who is the founder of Naimishala. She began her career as a corporate and has a corporate world human resource. During her stay in US, she worked in marketing, PR, and delivering person at a startup called Kulfi. While happily playing her role as mother, she also enjoyed passion in baking. She entered in the field of education as a primary educator, as a school teacher, and then being the partner in After School Center in 2016, she started her own after school program from home. And now she is a proud owner of her own center called Naimishala since year 2022. She envisions to create a mark in the field of education and helping as many children as possible.
And friends, our third guest this evening is Mrs. Manisha Bhise, founder of Gappa Stories, a story writer, a story excavator, a story explorer, a story educator. She is anything but just a professional storyteller. She is a trained storyteller from Kathalas International Academy of Storytelling and Storywise from Singapore. She is BE and has around 14 years of experience in training. Taking inspiration from nature and everyday life incidents, she loves to cast her charm and stories on audience across ages. Manisha is also a certified IELTS trainer, sports enthusiast, and loves trekking.
We welcome you all, girls, and we are super delighted to have you all here on this evening on one platform. Friends, at we are absolutely proud and happy to witness the pool of talent our women entrepreneurs have. And we, with such forum, try to bring out the best of you. I take this opportunity to welcome all of our panelists and all the wonderful audience out there. Happy Teachers Day. And with this, let's begin our conversation, which is going to be very engaging, very encouraging, and I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining too. Now, girls, let me start. So, this is my first question to all of you. What is the current trend in the education, and how does it affect the teacher and the teacher and the child's relationship? So,
Who
over
would
to
like to
you,
take the
girls.
question? Yes.
Parul, what would you like to tell about that?
So nowadays, like when we were young, the teachers used to be strict and we used to be a little afraid of the teacher. Nowadays, it's more like friends sharing. So when they come, they have so many stories to tell. So it's more compatible nowadays. It's more friendly nowadays. The relation has obviously changed a lot, and the method of teaching has also changed with time. So it's more a playway method that we do with children. So it's not like a strict regular class. It's much like a play zone where they come, play, learn, and interact with other students also.
That's so
Wonderful,
true,
wonderful.
Parul. I have observed that, children confide in the teachers more than the parents.
Absolutely,
Um,
Yes.
absolutely. Hina, what's your take on this?
Yeah, see, I totally agree with Parul, what she says, because the whole scenario has changed. But I'd like to add something, not being negative, but this is the truth and this is a fact. Today, teachers don't garner that kind of respect what our teachers garnered. That's one thing that is changing, whether it is school level or whether it is private centers like what Parul is doing or what I'm doing or anything like that. So yes, that love and affection is there, but somewhere they are losing out that respect. Probably it's because a lot of information is available to them at their fingertips, so the teacher is not is no longer seen as the ultimate person of knowledge. So that scenario is also there, along with whatever Parul said. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful.
so,
It's an interesting
Manisha,
perspective,
what would you
Hina.
say?
Yes,
Yeah.
Manisha, your take on how this is.
I think, like, every coin has two sides. Education also has two sides. And I completely agree with Parul and Hina. While there is a positive side that with the, advent of technology, teachers have also gained a different way to, interact with children, to bring education in a different limelight. There has been a backstage that, when it comes to respect, because now everything is available to children, everything is easily available to parents, that teachers are not yet fully respected like they were in our ages. But I think, as an educator, it is my job to build this bridge between the system and the children and the parents, and that is where we make a difference, and I am happy to be an educator that way. That is my take on this complete discussion, I would say.
That is so true. Parul, over to you.
Yes. Panelists, we all went through this very horrifying situation of pandemic, and I think lots has changed for a lot of people. Things have changed 360 degrees, and complete. I think the complete understanding of situations have really changed. So we want to understand, or rather, our audience would like to understand that what has really changed in the education system, and how has it affected the teachers as well as the students, and has also the quality of education affected with the kind of situation we all went through. Because I think for us, all of us, it was a completely different situation and a lot of things have changed. So how has it changed for the sector of education? I think anyone can have a take on this.
Yeah, so I'll start. So
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as teachers are concerned, they have become more equipped. Before pandemic, we used to be complete offline, and physical classes were there. Pandemic taught us what is Zoom, what is online classes, and how to reach to students not only around you in your area, but also across the globe. So it has brought us closer to students in different parts of the country or world, you can say. Like, I take online classes from Switzerland, from London, from different places, from Uganda. So there are different students around the world where I can teach them through this online medium, which is only after the pandemic. As far as kids are concerned, uh, different ages of kids have got different effect. The children who were in pre-primary during the pandemic age, who has missed their first few years of schooling, so now they are facing a lot of problem in settling in school, long hours of studies, concentration, because they are used to screens and so much stimulation is there in the screen. So now when they open the book and they have to concentrate for a longer time, it's difficult for them, because the colors, the stimulation is less. That scrolling habit, what they have got, has really disturbed them a lot. So concentration is disturbed, and the basics are also not that strong what it used to be for a child before the pandemic. So the child may be in the first or the second grade, but basics are still lacking. The habit of writing is still lacking, because online classes, uh, they didn't get a proper hang on the alphabet writing or even writing for long. So everything was click, everything was on a button. So that writing habit has gone. Interaction has vanished. So they are, like, after some time they will say we don't want to do this. So again, teachers have become more creative to give them something new every 15 minutes, some other activity, some other game, some other worksheet, so like to engage these kids. So it has affected a lot in a positive and negative way. The way we teach now has of course changed a lot. The level has a little bit reduced. So what I used to teach before the pandemic, the content I have to reduce it a little after the pandemic. And the major problem is, like, initially it was junior kg, this is the syllabus, senior kg, this is the syllabus. Now that is not the case. Each child is different. So we have to consider that child, what is the base, how strong is the foundation, and start from his level. So now we cannot have a particular syllabus for a grade. It's you have to set a syllabus for a particular child. So many things have changed like that.
So, Parul, here I would like to ask you one quick question. You mentioned that you have to reduce the syllabus. So, does this reduction of syllabus has really affected the quality of education in terms of say if like we have a syllabus made for standard one or standard second or grade third whatever. So, reducing the syllabus, has it affected the quality and the quantity of education, or how is it affected for even as a teacher and a student
Yes,
also?
yes, of course, it has affected. For example, when we used to take a topic, we used to write that topic, do sheets, do activities. Now, I used to give them the word list, any topic that we do. Now, writing in a notebook is, little challenging to make them write. So we do only sheets and activities. So the, exposure that they used to get to that topic is little reduced now after the pandemic. Like, of course, we do it in a more activity format, but still I would suggest that after the pandemic it has reduced, so that we cannot expect the child to perform the way he or she used to before the pandemic. And this will take a time, because they have lost their base, actually the foundation. This is affected a lot for the pre-primary. Primary can again pick up, and there is second this thing is, the classes were online, so you don't know how much attention the child has given, how much time,
Yeah.
or the parent has put into the studies. So there are many factors affecting. Few children have like no changes, they're still doing well because the parents have put in a lot of effort, or the child was concentrated when it was an online class, so that online medium was not a difficult thing for a child. So these variations are there, but overall scenario, when you see, the effect is less. Like, now you cannot expect more from them, and you cannot deliver more to them. They don't have that capacity.
Right. So, Hina, what is your take on this?
So I think Parul has covered, probably everything since she went in first. So yes, there is a lot of change, as she said, as far as the children's learning capacity and their levels. But what I also feel that um, in a way, as teachers, whether it's us or in school or the education department, coming from the government, they have to reduce the level as such, because the content what was being taught in higher class, what we notice, is gradually coming down. So now, since I do even tuitions, now what I see, now there was a child coming, he's been coming since last year, so say UKG. Now UKG, the school had given him a list of present tense and past tense. The child cannot even imagine that time frame because he cannot understand that. Now, when
Right.
I was teaching in school, so the first grade had a topic fractions. Now, a child at that age doesn't even know the concept of sharing. Yes, the parents tell, please share with your siblings, please share with your friends, but they don't as such get it. So, somehow at that point, it was about 10 years ago, we fought with the management and we removed that particular topic from grade 1 because they can't understand that. And
Right.
another thing is that schools just dump, project, but who's doing the project
Yeah.
work? The parents are doing the project work,
Parents, yeah.
right? It
Right.
absolutely doesn't make sense. So no matter what we do, whether we reduce our content or what, it has to come from the main source, because since there is a lot of pressure from the education department and the CBSE syllabus and the ICSE syllabus, so automatically the pressure comes on us because the parents are looking something for extra and to help their children to cope up with um, the school work as well, because
Right.
they are expecting small kids, second standard child, to do creative writing. Just today the parent comes and tells, ma'am, my child is not good in creative writing.
Okay.
They're expecting too much out of very small kids. So I feel somewhere that has to be corrected. And then, so yes, it's really sad. And as Parul said, the pandemic has made things worse. It has made things worse for children at all levels, at all levels. So say if it's a
Right.
sixth grader, what happens at every level? So from KG to primary, it's a jump. So
Uh-huh.
once they settle down in primary, from fifth to sixth, actually it is a jump. So
Right.
it is a jump when they get into middle school. So even children who are in sixth grade who lost out, because your foundation of concepts is done there for your 10th grade.
Right. Right.
So it has affected a lot. But as Parul said, the smaller children where their basic, absolute basic foundation has been completely shaken. So which kind of has a ripple effect. So yes, this is what I have to say.
Okay.
Manisha, what's your
I
perspective on
feel,
this?
yeah, I think Manisha will agree to my point. When with the pandemic and online teaching and everything, there was an innovative method where kids were taught in a very innovative method. All the teachings were made into video presentations. I think Manisha would agree and can tell us more about it.
Um, Nishta, definitely what I feel the pandemic did hit younger children in a very bad way, especially for them whose parents were working. Because I had during the pandemic children, parents from junior KG or senior KG calling me that, would you take story sessions for them? Because this entire system of education is somewhat not working online, because as both Parul and Hina said, there is too much to cover, and teachers are always bound by the syllabus. All right, they always have something to cover with a limited span of time, and they have to rush. They do not care whether student A understands or student Z understands. They have to just finish the syllabus. While as a
Yes.
storyteller, I am not, or I rather cover a subject not for finishing the syllabus, but to make a subject more interactive. And
Yes, that's
I,
correct.
or educators who have that leverage to work independently, I would say, we work on more of EQ development, where the development of emotional quotient happens. Because when pandemic struck, it was difficult for not only the children but also the parents for the seniors, old, if there were old age or senior parents with the parents again. So it was a chaos completely. Managing all these things, balancing out was a difficult task for each one of us. I had a few parents, I had one parent rather coming in who had lost her spouse, and her husband and her 7-year child had completely, stopped talking, stopped interacting. And it was COVID. So he didn't have any friends, he didn't have any other one, to share his feeling. That is when stories helped. So what I agree to them is, yes, the system is very overwhelming. The teachers are always under pressure, under stress to finish the syllabus. But that is when the niche of educators come in, where we try to make subjects or the topics interesting, to develop not only the core subject but the EQ. Because I feel that in today's world, in AI, in the competition, in whatever you name it, if emotionally a child is not well balanced, he knows how to react, how to listen actively, how to show and express his emotions, then everything, the
Yeah,
language learning, everything, comes to a standstill. And that is why I feel that stories help us when we were, helped us when we were children. Luckily we
Yeah.
had our nana nani, aji azoba to share stories. And now we have professional storytellers or teachers who are doing that
yes.
work. And yeah, that's all I would like to add.
That's so true,
Before going
Manisha.
ahead,
And from the
sorry,
world
Nishita.
of teaching and story, please go ahead.
Yes. No, no, no. So, we have some wonderful audience commenting who are, they are, of course, wishing all of us a very happy Teachers' Day. And we have a wonderful statement from our founder. She's saying that today the role of a teacher has evolved and there is a different flavor than expected from the teacher. So this is so true. That's what exactly Manisha was also coming to right now, that, there has to be a different way, a more
Hmm.
creative way where we need to engage and interact and communicate. Because I think where Manisha comes from is a story is a first form of communication that we have and start with our children. And of course, that's how I think the teachers need to really look at. So yes, Nishita, go ahead, please. I just wanted to bring this comment
That
up
was
to us.
so, that's a valid point. Like what Manisha
Absolutely.
said. I mean, I've been seeing my child attend his online classes. I've seen few teachers going out of the way, telling them all the syllabus, like especially history, in a form of a story. They were being shown few videos. So I totally
Yeah.
agree with Manisha. And Manisha, from our every one of you girls, from the world of teaching, now, in this world where AI is everywhere, like ChatGPT or Google Bard, so many platforms. Like when a project is given to the child, in our times we used to do research. We used to like completely bury our heads into books. But now everything is available just a click away. Now all the kids, they are doing their project works with the help of AI. Now, can you tell me what is the advice that would you give to parents to put a stoppage or to put a check on their children, or do you support AI?
So
Can I
probably
go
Hina can
first?
go first. Probably Hina can go first, to understand the views, and then we'll yeah. Yes, please,
Yes.
Hina, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm a little raw in this. Yes, this thing has been going around, and of course, my son has taken up AI. So I'm looking forward to his help. But I hear that the kids are doing their homework with that, but um, I'm really not in support of it, because you stop thinking, your creativity stops. And for me, when I tell my children, I am not expecting anything very, very high from you. I just want you to frame basic sentences, because for me, what I understand, language is just that the other person should understand what you're saying, and you should be able to understand what the other person is saying. That is the basics of a language. And that's the most important thing of a language. Yes, the pressure is there too much on every child to perform. Like every child has to use, huge words and everything. No, that's unnecessary pressure, because why I'm not expecting this as of now, because the reading has gone. Unlike us, we used to read, but today's
Yeah,
children
true.
find it very difficult to even open a book. And,
Absolutely.
however interesting that book is, they want somebody to sit next to them and babysit them even when they're doing that. Now, so when I give, so now how do you help them with this creative writing? So I just tell them, I give them simple sentences and I say, I'm not expecting anything high fi from you. I want simple sentences, but put them in logic. Yeah, that's more than enough right now. Then see, vocabulary cannot be taught. I
True.
don't because I mean our teachers did not pull out the whole dictionary and teach us. It is not possible even from a parent, or neither teachers like Parul and me, and for that matter even Manisha, through a storytelling there is a limited number of words where she can express to them. When does your vocabulary improve? When does your language, when does your writing improve? When you read a lot, you
Yes.
develop your own style of writing. Writing cannot be taught, it cannot be taught. So uh, AI, no, let them, do simple writing. That's fine. And I feel teachers should also support them and not put that pressure on them. And ultimately, the pressure comes to the parent puts the pressure on the child, and also on teachers like us, where they're expecting some miracle to happen. So I don't want AI. I'm not AI. I'm not for AI as far as this is concerned, because the child has to develop its own, language. They'll stop. I think if they're going to use AI for this in future, they'll expect AI to talk for them. So
Yes.
it's going to come. I mean, the
Absolutely.
language will completely stop. They need to
True, true.
express simple words, no problem. I mean, that's what is my take on this. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very well said, Hina. They need to express, and I think Manisha will be the right person to
Yes.
really take this from
Hmm.
here. That because she's the queen of expressions, and her stories are genuinely her stories are wonderful. And yes, Manisha, our audience really wants to listen. What's your take on this?
I mean, I completely agree with Hina saying, where she said that there is a very thin line, between whether I should go for AI or not. Because even if,
Yes.
as a parent, I feel, suppose a child has been given a project on Chandrayaan 3. Now, everything was shown, right? I mean, when Chandrayaan 3 launch happened, when the Vikram launcher, it landed safely on the moon, the South Pole. Now, an average child would only know these generic terms. Maybe even a parent may not know. Now, if you get some newspaper, maybe a parent can ask the child to go through the newspaper. Let's read together if a child is not really into reading. Like Hina said, yes, nowadays children are not more into reading because they are only, taught, or they only learn to read, but they don't read to learn. At Gappa Stories, that is what I
Ah,
say, that you read to learn. Just read 10 minutes a day at
Yeah.
bedtime. As a parent, do that. Now, I have a 12-year-old. He is completely a sports fanatic. But I make sure that no matter how tired he is, you have to grab a book before you hit bed. And if he's sleepy, I read him 5 pages, whatever. Now, you may say, he's a 12-year-old. Why do you need to really, make that habit? Because I don't want to break the habit.
True.
He's a good reader. He's an avid reader. I have been reading to him since he was in my womb. But I don't want to break that habit that today because he's tired, he stops that. Because as he's growing, obviously he's going to be tired of something or the other. But then breaking that habit is going to be really a headache for me later on. So I somewhere continue it, that not, if you're tired, not 5 pages, read 2 pages. But that habit, that consistency is very important when it comes to reading, and reading will definitely develop your vocabulary. Okay. Then I would like to ask parents, why are you so crazy about that A's and that plus marks, when it comes to project? Why
True.
can't you accept your child, that if my child is average, if a project is given, let me first see if he can refer the textbook and gather so much knowledge. If no,
Hmm.
okay, let him go to Google as well. Let him grasp, some from some authentic websites. Yes, that is advisable. But as a parent, I have to be a little vigilant that they don't go on other links and start just wasting their time or dwindling, on the internet. Again, how much do I know about that topic? Do I ever discuss it, as a friendly gesture? So all these conversations help. You cannot just pinpoint, as Hina rightly said, that you go to her class, so you should be knowing about creative writing A to Z. You go to, why do I spend so much money? Yes, you spend so much money, but everybody has their own limitations, and education is a daily thing. Reading, all these habits are a daily thing. You cannot just, I don't have a Harry Potter wand, and I think neither
True.
do they.
None of us, Manisha.
Yeah,
Very
none of
rightly
them.
said. Very rightly
And
said.
not
Yeah.
even parents. But yes, today's parents have to be really smart for these Gen Z students,
Oh,
Gen Z
yes.
children.
Yes.
We have
Rightly said,
to.
Manisha. And then from there, I completely agree because yes, they need to be Gen Z, and I think Parul has a good contribution here, where she has these unique worksheets where she kind of has developed for the students. So Parul,
Or
if
maybe
you
Parul has the
yeah
magic wand, worksheets wand,
yeah yeah
which
she,
can
that
help all
is
our
really
parents, all of
process.
us.
So Parul, what is your take on this?
Yeah, so when it is concerned like projects, parents should understand the purpose of giving a homework or a project. The purpose is to the child should learn from it. It is not completion. So for parent, it is ki we have to complete it somehow. I do, you do, AI does, anyone does. It should be completed and you should be completed. Like you should give it submit on your deadline. That is the thinking behind a parent's mind. The purpose is actually lost in this
Yes.
process. So parents should understand what is the purpose of doing homework. Now I have parents who are doing homework instead of the child, and you can make out the handwriting.
Oh,
So
that's
True,
good.
true.
I have to tell them, please don't do the homework. It is for the child. If it is not done, he should or she should know that I have to do it. It is for me. And I even explain them how to do the homework, like they have to say while writing or whatever it is. So if the child is not doing the homework, the purpose is not solved. So
Right.
this is actually parents who has to understand that whatever task they are doing with their child or the child is doing, is the purpose behind the task solved or not. Secondly, AI, they like, like Manisha said, every coin has two sides. So AI has good and bad. If you're doing the complete project with AI, it's not good. You can refer to it, you can take points, but ultimately the child should do the complete project. It's not that parents are only doing the project.
True.
Yes, too much homework is there, too much other burdens are there, competition is there, but I feel if you balance everything well, little work every day, your work will be done. So it's not that teacher will say today and you have to submit it tomorrow, but only that you will procrastinate, and then when tomorrow is the submission, today you'll sit, put it on AI, do it
Yeah.
on your own and give it to your child so that they can submit.
It's
So
like
it,
digging the
it
well
is
at the
much
11th hour.
on, yeah, it's much on time management. It is much on your planning, how you are doing it every day. So many elements are there which parents have to keep a check, because children are only watching you and growing. So
Yeah.
True. That's
they
true.
are you are an idol for your child. Like everyone says, mother and father are there, what they are looking upon to. So if you are behaving in such a way, then you cannot expect your child to leave the mobile and then sit to study or read a book. So you
Right.
have to be an actual model. What you want your child to be, first do yourself. That I would say to every mom. Spend
That is
time with
true.
children. If play games. Just if you can, you have to speak and play game while traveling. So there should be an interaction between parents and children. Like if you are just on your mobile when you're traveling and the child is sitting or child is having his or her gadget, then there is no communication, no interaction, and then there are many values which are not transferred to the next generation. When we were talking about even respect to teachers, because there is no
Hmm.
time to transfer those things to the next generation. So a lot of gap is there between the communication of parents and children. So as far as AI is concerned, I think parents need to be more vigilant. It is
And
much on their
yeah.
hand.
And you know what, girls? I have personally gone to my son's school. I mean, we do have separate meetings for parents. Don't say parent teacher meeting. It actually happens. There's only parent and there's only
Teachers.
meeting
Nishita, your voice is lost. Nishita, your voice is lost.
timetable for the child.
Okay.
So, what do you think, Sapna, on this?
No,
We, as an
really, I
educators,
mean, yes, yes. So, Nishita, here I would really have, where my next question mind is, and especially I would like to start with Manisha this time because I think I felt she would be the person who could really give us a little more,
hmm,
info. This, life skills. We talk about life skills training, such as listening, speaking, reading, writing, and etc. So, what is of course the importance of having having a children being trained in this life skills, and what is the correct age, because I think today all these skills are required at every aspect. Like if a student, even if he has to apply for a university abroad, your essay is the most important thing. What you write about, about you, about your goals, about what you want to do is so important that on the basis of that a child has been selected further. So what's your take? How does this help groom a child, and what's the right age, and how important it is?
I think, as the word itself says, life skills, those are the, utmost or important skills because they define who you are, at least in front of, they are, those are the skills who are your first impression, right? And we always say that first impression is the best impression, right? Now, I remember that when I was in my fourth standard, and I was asked, as a bright student, I was asked to represent my school in an allocation competition. And my teachers just, asked me to speak about it, and I could only narrate one slogan, and I was dumb. I mean, I could not speak at all. Now, thinking, you know, 20 years back then, I was like, oh, I forgot, But today, when I think about it, I recollect that how nervous I was. I had
Yeah.
cold feet. I just could not express myself. This is one of the life skills. Because today, if you see in any age group, or even in today, be it an educator, be it a parent, be it a woman, a sister, a wife, in any role that I play, communication is the key. Without proper communication, I can have so many, misunderstandings. I can create so many goof ups. And so, life skill, when I say life skills, communication, expressing yourself using the right body language, gestures, words, as an important life skill. And that is what, I mean, as a storyteller, I promote that. Why is this life skill needed? There are many other life skills like, financial literacy, which is again not explicitly covered as a syllabus or as a subject, so-called subject in school life. But when I became engineer, when I just wasted my money, for 2 years, and then I suddenly realized, oh no, what am I doing? I needed to invest, because nobody tell me. I got a good
Yeah.
job and I was spending. So,
Yeah.
all these life skills, that how do you invest? Where do you invest? At what way? So I think these are different life skills, like, communication, financial literacy are very, very important life skills which had to be taught. And I think there is no specific age group as such, Swapna. But I think the early, the better. And why? Because as you know, I think Parul also said nowadays, children are, when they go in the first grade, they are asked to narrate a story. They are asked
Yeah.
to talk about themselves in a different way. They have impromptu competition, and they have so many different competitions. And uh, a shy child is always taken, or an introvert child is always, seen in a negative light.
True.
Whereas this has to stop somewhere, because again, as I said, EQ, when you come to EQ development, it is not bad to be a shy or an introvert, right? But this is again a life skill. How do I handle this? How do
Yeah.
I handle if I'm shy, if I'm introvert, because I take my own time to understand and open up, right? So all these expressing is again a life skill. So I start storytelling or this development sessions for as young as 4 years old as well. There is no specific age, but I wouldn't tell parents that just put them into different classes because you need those life skills right away.
True. True.
Every
True.
child is a soft clay. Let them shape
Yes.
up the way they want. Give them their own space to grow. Because we know, the roots that get air and space to develop more, they have the strongest foundation. So as a storyteller, I would always tell them that give them that growth, the soil to grow, that things to expand. Don't force things into them. And
Yeah, because we see nowadays a lot of parents have this competition, तुमको
yeah.
डांस आना चाहिए, तुमको ये आना चाहिए, तुमको वो आना चाहिए. I mean, the child is busy throughout the day going to different classes, activities, and then they expect the child to be on the top. And I mean, this is so much of pressure on that small little soul, who's trying to really, as you rightly said, he's trying to actually grow his roots and try to grow up as a tree. But I think somewhere. So, what would you really give one line advice to such parents, Manisha? What is it that they need to really stop doing with their children?
One thing is, don't follow the herd. Meh, that
That
meh
happens a lot. Like,
mentality
uh,
is, is still prevalent. Yeah, back
Yeah.
then maybe our parents were maybe they didn't have choices, but today we have so many different choice in every stream. So I always feel that as a parent, I need to be aware what my child likes, dislikes, yeah, put them into some sport or some outdoor activity, because I think that is what is lacking nowadays, physical activity. Other than that, you can just try to explore. Let them decide what they really want to do, rather than just putting them and keeping, because many parents come to me that this slot is empty, my child does not do anything, can you take it?
Yes.
Okay, what
it's
to
like all 24/7, 24 hours are being filled.
Yeah, let them daydream, let them just dream what they want to do, let them lie down. Give
Yeah.
them this free time. That is what we are not doing. And I think today, you, me, all each one of us who are here are independent, entrepreneurs only because our parents didn't, I think, force us into anything. We were
True. True.
independent, we were lazing around, we enjoyed our childhood. So let them enjoy their childhood, is what I would say.
Yeah. So on this note, I'm coming to Hina. Hina, what is your take? Because I think you're also closely working on these life skills. So what is your take on this?
Yeah, so as Manisha said, there are different life skills, right? But my question is, why can't a parent himself or herself teach a few things to his or her own child? Because a basic life skill is, now say today we got pocket money when we were way older. Today, even little younger children get that pocket money. You
Yeah.
teach them, okay, you need to write down where you've spent it. This is what you're going to get. You save, you spend, that's your problem. I mean, how you do it, but we can guide them, right? That's a very, very, because she mentioned about investing, right? And she just spent all her money. So it starts here. It absolutely starts here, because that's how my dad taught me, not to put me down or pry on me or something. But in college I got this money, and all he would say is, just write down where you spent it, let me know, and I will send you the next amount, just so that. And I didn't realize it then. Today I realize it, that that was something that he inculcated in me, just for me to know, where am I spending it? I
True.
realize where I'm spending it. And I'm not just spending it, and I'm able to, plan my spending. So, very fond of jewelry, very fond of this, but you prioritize your spending. That's a very, very basic life skill. Why can't a parent do it? Why is all the onus on us? Like, Manisha, like Parul or me, or so many other teachers, even school teachers. So the even a school teacher is expected to do everything. The parent gives birth to the child, and everything else the teacher does. So I had this when I was in school, lunchtime. So I make sure the child completes the vegetables and thing, make sure that they're not drinking junk food. So somehow there was this problematic child, and I made her finish the two boxes. The next day, third box comes. And I was like, okay. So I
Mom
said,
must be
no, my
really
duty,
impressed by you.
yeah. So I'm doing everything. So I would probably even, had to, if given a chance, I would even have to do potty training, but I was not in that age group. The child was potty trained. I was dealing with primary children. So, parents are expecting us to do everything. And as Manisha said, it is a teamwork, and we are not, magic wand. And I use these words with the parents. I don't have a magic wand. I don't know magic. I'm a normal human being putting in my efforts. Yes.
Correct.
Yesterday, a parent came and told me, ma'am, the teacher has told in school, this child is weak in English. You all understand Hindi, right? मुझे
Yeah.
Yes.
perfect चाहिए, English perfect चाहिए, grammar perfect चाहिए. I told her, I was very, very honest. I'm very honest with my parents and with my children. I told her, I'm sorry, there is nothing called perfect. There is nothing called perfect. And I have a child who's been with me from grade 2. Very soon, in 8 months, he's going to write his board exams. And he's in IB syllabus, or probably he's doing IGCSE. Even today, he's making, spelling mistakes. And I've been working with him for the last 7, 8 years. So you can imagine the kind of effort we are putting, that effort has to come. So I said, it's me, it's the child, it's the parent. It's a teamwork. And as Manisha said, that 10, even I tell each parent, today also I told, ma'am, please sit 10 minutes with your child. That quality time, which I did with my child. Of course, not like Manisha from the womb, but the moment he was born, and after a few months, we would sit at night before, sleeping. And initially I would read, and then he would read a word, and I would read a word. Then, he would read a sentence, I would read a sentence. I would read a page, he would read a page. And that's how the habit got in. And he became an avid reader. I didn't have to tell him. He got bored, he picked up a book, and he would read each book so many times because he would like certain parts. So he would like to reread it and enjoy those moments. Uh, Another thing, what Manisha said, I remember. She said, "Ma'am, ये slot खाली है, so can you take it up?" Right? So today, another challenge what parents are facing is social media. I mean,
Yeah.
gadgets. Sorry, not social
Gadgets.
media, gadgets.
Gadgets.
They are
Yes.
not
Gadgets as
the
well as social media.
Yes. So they don't want to keep the child free, because the moment they get that free slot, they are not going to play or read a book or just lie down. They immediately grab their parent or their grandparents' mobiles,
Cell
or they
phones.
have
Yes.
these iPads and tabs lying around. If not the idiot box, which is the
Yeah.
TV, they know everything. So that's why I think parents are not having that time. See, I understand working parents, they don't have a
Yeah.
choice. But today, even mothers who are homemakers, which is nothing wrong, are not even spending a little quality time with the child. So that is where the slot problem comes in. Okay, they want, the moment the child comes in school, slot him slot here, and dinner time, and go to bed.
Simple.
So
Salah or Salah.
Simple. Very true. Very
yeah.
true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these are the issues that we are facing. And I feel it's a lot, um, I don't know where, this problem needs to be, because it's like a vicious circle. It's becoming
Yeah.
like a vicious circle. Where do you bring some change? So I guess it's something for people like us to think about, like Parul, Manisha, or even others in We Do. Maybe, come up collectively with something to help, not help, to create awareness, basically to create awareness among parents. Yeah.
So yeah, with your point, as perfection in probably grammar or in English, and I think nothing as such is perfect. But I think Parul, you can put in a little more, enlighten us a little more
Insight
here
to that,
because
yes.
you are
Yeah, so
really into
when
this.
we are talking about these issues, we are
Correct.
finding it a big issue because all of us have spent good quality time with our children. And I'm really glad for it that our children are really shining. Like my son is a vice president of his college. So it's
Wow.
it's really a proud feeling when you get result and you have maintained your career, your house. I have done my master's after 15 years of my graduation. So there was a day when I was a student, teacher, mother, housemaker, everything. So we all have done it well, and that is why we are in a stage to speak about it today. And when we see today's parents, sometimes you really feel bad about the child from one class to the other class to the other class. The child is fixed in a framework. He doesn't
Yeah.
have time for free play. And the
Correct.
word life skill. So life skill are skills which you actually learn from life, and
Yeah.
today's kids are not getting the time to learn from the life because everything has been taught to them. So when I see
Yeah.
chess class, Rubik's cube class, so even to solve something you've been taught to do it. So when will
Correct.
you use your brain to do it,
Yes.
to come to conclusion, to solve problem? So all these basic life skills are also children are lacking because they're not getting time to do it. They've been told and they only have to follow command. A good child is a child who follows all mama's command, is a good obedient child. But where is the
Yeah.
growth of that child at a personal level? Today
True.
a
True.
good child will be a successful man in future. So I always say that a good degree will give you entry to a job, but to progress in your job is your personality. Then your degree will not help you. And the
Well
Nice.
said, Parul.
personality
Well
is
said.
only developed when you get a good foundational life skills. So life skill is actually, there is no age. The You got your life means you have to develop the life skills. So the moment a child is born, the
Well
life
said.
skills should be taught from the surrounding. So there
Hmm.
cannot be a particular course or something. It has to be done from the surrounding, then it is actually done. If you're teaching everything, then it is not developing the life skill. So it should be
Yes.
developed from within the child, and
Right.
then only it will be actually fruitful for the child. So even in my book I've given this tagline that when they study on their own, then the result will be actually their result and it will be fruitful. They will be
That's
encouraged to
true.
study on their own. So when it is exams and all, parents are so much stressed. Then I ask the parents, where were you all these months? Like today is the exam, school started in June. What were you doing all 3 months and sitting today 12 o'clock at night with the books with the child, and tomorrow the child has to get up at 5 o'clock and go and give exam? The child will not be able to open his eyes in the morning. How will he write? So it's
Right.
not
That's
कि before
something
the
very.
exam पढ़ाने का rush, and I really don't like it. Do it every day, do it meticulously, consistently, and then give your result. और वो जो stress है ना, it's the whole house कि नहीं exam है, exam है, exam है. That pressure shouldn't be, that vibe shouldn't be there. Your vibes are transferred to the child, and the child is more shaken while writing the exam कि मेरे को अच्छा result लाना है. That pressure is there. बेचारा सब भूल जाता होगा. I really feel so pity for kids these days. So
It's like
yeah,
exams.
life
Yeah,
skills actually
please go
develop
ahead.
from.
I mean, exams के time में it's not like बच्चा exam लिख रहा है. It's like the whole family is writing the exam.
Yes.
पूरी टेंशन भरी माहौल चलती रहती है. And लड़कियों,
Yeah.
with this topic, with the examinations and all, I wanted to ask you, how is it you cleared VDO's examination? Like, how is it you girls joined VDO? And how is it this whole journey from your entrepreneur journey to the video journey happened? So, Manisha?
Okay.
Oh, Parul. Okay, Hena is
Okay.
right. Okay.
Hina,
Hina.
please,
Yeah.
please, you may.
I'm like very, very new to this. Probably I'm just like what, 3 months old, 3 months
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I saw an ad on Insta, maybe on the stories or something like that. So I just went into it and I just found a number and I called up Kadambari and I just spoke to her. And then she was like, she just sent me a few things and I I I didn't think too much. I didn't see the videos. I said, okay, let's just join and explore. I mean, nothing can go wrong, right? Nothing can go wrong. I
Oh,
mean,
you're
you're
in
not giving an
something good.
exam, you're not going to be judged. It was all about holding each other's hands and, exploring together and helping out. So nothing can go wrong, right? It works, it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's all is going to happen. So that's how I just came to, meet other people, because um, I feel we learn every day. I mean, learning doesn't stop for anybody, right? We learn from
Right.
children, we learn from people around us. So I thought, okay, why not learn from women, other women? I mean, support each other. So that's how I came in.
And
So,
Lovely,
how
lovely.
yeah,
about you?
yeah. So Shashi, one of my friends, Shashi, she came to know about Vidu Thane chapter launch from our very sweet, Vice President Aarti Nadekar,
Uh,
and she said, let's join because it's in Thane, and I said, yeah, and then when we really visited or witnessed the power of Vidu, as I quoted in during the Pune chapter launch also, that Vidu leverages on compounding of relationships. And I think this is a truly good platform where, women are for each other, So we are positively talking
yeah,
about each
always.
other and, working towards each other. And in a way that without me telling anybody, my flyer or my poster has been shared. I never go and tell any of the video members, but they do it. I do it for others. So I think that is how we are building on each other's strengths. We are there to support each other when we have those meetings. And I think Kadambari, who is the foundation, who also conducts a lot of educational trainings and meetings that happen. So I think that is the main connect of Vidu, which I really appreciate, and I would love to thank Vidu and all the chapter presidents and Swapna and Nishta today, for all this time and this energy that we are sharing with each other.
Thank you. We're
Fantastic.
always
Manisha
there for
very
each
rightly
other.
said. This is the energy we are getting from this platform, because it's just not us, but it's this lovely pool of talents that we have. Like today, when we thought about having a session something like this, where we could value add to our audience. We quickly had you all people in mind, and we thought, yes, we can have them, and they are going to be the value add who will share such valuable insights and knowledge to our audience, which otherwise, it's not this is the authentic information that we are really giving out. It's not those sugar coated words or scripted dialogues that's happening. It's a proper heart to heart conversation that's happening, which is reaching out to the audience. And I think people are really gaining a lot of it, because we're getting so much of lovely feedbacks from people that they really want sessions on different topics. And that's, I think that's the power of we women platform. And I think it's a lovely one. Parul, your take on this? What is your take on this
Yeah, so
platform?
I came to know about Vidu from the same source as Manisha, Aarti,
Yeah.
and we are in a same coach group. So,
Yes.
like, I was always like, I wanted to have physical groups around, but as my child was young, I never did it. And then when he passed 10th, I wanted to do it, and there was a lockdown. So he gave
Correct.
his 10th, like the board exam was not done, and the lockdown started. So after
Right.
the pandemic, now I was, no, I want to join some physical groups and, meet women and get that energy and, be more socially available. So
Right.
that's when I heard about Vidu from Aarti, and of course I joined. I was there at the Mumbai launch day and saw that power, saw, like, met you all, and it was really overwhelming. I stay in Andheri, and for me to travel to Thana, but it was more than worth it traveling and meeting you all. I missed Pune launch, of course, because we had a festival at that time, so that was
Correct.
not
Correct.
possible. But whenever it is possible, I make it a point to connect with like you women around, and we have learned so much from each other. I, like Manisha said, I never know when my stories or like my poster is there on someone else's story. So it's helping each other. When you want something, you connect one dot, and that dot will connect you to some other dot, and your work is done, your job is done. So here
Yes.
it is like women helping women, that it is not a competition, it is for the task to be done. That is the
True.
actual essence around everyone, ki uska kaam ho jana chahiye. So that
Hmm.
feeling of oneness, that feeling of ownership, kiska kaam hai, that is not important. That
Right.
feeling is only there in Vidu. Like there are many groups, but what feeling and what empathy, what power, what compassion you get in Vidu, it's overwhelming. It's really above, something. It's divine what you feel here, and really blessed to for like Kadambari for this group, for getting us all of us together, and Swapna for taking it ahead and keeping all of us intact. Thanks a lot, Vidu, for all this.
Thank you. I really appreciate such warm and kind words I always receive from you people. As a president of Mumbai chapter, Parul, I really take the pride that my team is such a wonderful team that I have. Lovely, lovely women entrepreneurs. I keep telling Kadambari, she's a gem, and she tells me, who is not a gem in your team? But they are
Oh,
really wonderful and really love
maybe
to be
your
with,
team is like a pearl, a string of pearl. Let me take an
absolutely,
opportunity
absolutely.
over here,
Yes,
Swapna.
yes,
How about you telling your journey with Vidu? Like, how is that
yes.
you came into Vidu?
Uh, so it's for me, Nishita. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'll be really quick. This is now the almost I'll complete a year with
Yeah,
Vidu,
it's like,
and the journey has been really wonderful. It was just that one evening afternoon I saw this message on Facebook, and I connected with Sabah, and she just sent me the link, and I just signed up. I said, let me see what, because I that is the time I was beginning with my interval journey as well, and I just signed up. And since then, I never felt like that I wanted to be out of the group. I always felt that connection. Of course, Manju was always there, available to at any point of time to answer the questions, to whatever, to take us through the entire process. Kadambari is always approachable and is always available, and she's the guiding force. I really look at her as the guiding force of the entire group, with so much of enthusiasm and so much of encouragement that she has. She gives us the values of strengthening. If you today we see there are many clubs. The USP of our club is we do not see diversified. We do not see same portfolios as the competitors. We look at them as our
yes,
strength, and we look at the power of collaborations and coming up with something new. So I think that's the power that we need. The women entrepreneurs today need, so that we come together, we formulate certain thing, come out with a product, and give world a better thing than what they really
yes,
have. Like today, how Parul and Manisha, for example, are, or Hina that matter, they are in such a profession that if they blend together, they can come up with
hmm,
something really wonderful product for the people, and that's going to be benefiting the children, our next generation. I think that's what we women are looking at creating. So I think for me, this platform is my passion, it's my love, and I keep telling this to Kadamari every time that I just love being a part of Vero. So yes, Nashita, that that's
yes, that's
that's
true.
about my journey.
I feel it's a family for us. I mean, other
Absolutely,
family,
Nishita.
like,
Absolutely.
other than
Absolutely.
just family, this is a true family where, you feel the warmth of a women. I mean, you feel the encouragement. It's so wonderful to see each other's stories.
And
Like,
that's at a
even
pan India level. It's not
huh,
limited to yours. Like today, knowing you,
that's
Nishita,
true.
sitting in Hyderabad, knowing you, what you're doing about your business, is such a wonderful thing. That you
That
get
is
to know
so
each
true.
other. Yeah. So that's the power.
I just
And
wanted to add something, like when we had our online expo, we were really,
oh
Kadambari
yeah,
held our
that was
hands, and
great.
it was done actually so much successful the day before the rehearsal. So she is really doing a great job in updating
Wonderful.
us with technology and getting all of us together. That is it's pan India when we are talking about, like we can
Yes.
like we are so close
So
to each
we
other.
are like, yeah, we were talking like what, nearly close to around more than 60 women. We had
Yep.
60 women on the
Yeah,
same
that is
platform
great.
Yes.
from morning to even, delicately working towards it. That was wonderful.
Absolutely.
And yet,
Absolutely.
Kadambari is out with one more program, which is from a dreamer to entrepreneur, which is going to happen. It's a seminar which is going to happen in Bangalore on 7th of September. For registrations, you can log on to our website, which is www.vedu.org.in/club. And
Yes.
everyone, before we wind up, some small tips for us for the
Yeah.
teachers, students, and the parents, especially the parents, because they pressurize children a lot.
Yes, from both of. I think Hina
Um,
unfortunately got disconnected, but I think we have Manisha and
I
Parul.
have, like I love Abdul Kalam sir, and he has a quote which says, "You cannot change your future, but you can change your habits." And there is this one amazing book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, in
Yes.
which he has mentioned that 1% change every day can help you to bring about 37% percent change throughout the year. So I want to request parents to bring that 1% change every day. If they are having their dinner by watching television, just stop it, say for 5
That's
minutes,
true.
reduce the time for 5 minutes today, 10 minutes today. If they are not having a reading hour, just start 5 minutes reading just before bedtime with your child. If he or she is not reading, or if he or she is not, I think that 1% change will definitely, you will see a big change throughout the year. That's all. I think a parent is the first teacher. So I would
Yeah.
request, the same. And thank you for being good listeners and good observers, and for being so lovely hosts, Swapna and Nishta, once again. Thank you.
Lovely. Parul,
So,
Parul,
Carol,
your something from you as well for parents.
Yeah, so here I would add one thing, that education or school or studies is a part of all the other chapters of a child's life. So don't spoil your relationship with your child just because of this one chapter, that is education. Because you
well said.
pressurize your child to study so much that the child may not have that communication with you, which will hamper your relationship, and it will affect a lot when the child is in teenage, when actually they need their parents support. So don't give education so much importance that you are putting everything behind it. Your
Yeah.
relationship with your child, the affection, the respect that the child should have for you is much more important than the marks or the homework done. So I would always tell parents to give more importance to the relationship than studies. And as far as studies are concerned, please do it every day, little regularity, consistency, routine, planning. All these words are not just words, but they have so much behind them. So
That's true.
bring one thing, and bring, in fact, we should have all of them in our life, but at least start with one thing, make a routine, follow it. So stick to it, and all these things will make a great change in your life, in your child's life, in your relationship, and the child will be successful. So don't just have that vision ki aaj ka homework hua ki nahi. Have the vision that the child is a good person, happy person when he or she grows. So have a wider vision in your life, not just today but the future. And thanks a lot, the audience, Swapna, Nishita, for holding this, for giving me this opportunity to share my views with such a big audience. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
everyone.
I
Parul
would
and Manisha. Yes, yes, Manisha. Yes, please, please go ahead.
I would just like to thank Parul and Hina as well for sharing this platform with me today. It was lovely,
Yes.
interacting
Same to
with
you,
them.
same to you.
Wonderful. Guys, since you have already your niche in your own fields, this is very important because you guys come with a lot of value, with a lot of inputs, with a lot of ideas, with a lot of thought processes that helps parents to change their thought process. Because I think at the end of it, it's all a mind. It's all a game of mind, thoughts, and processes, and how you need to look at it. Like small small tips that you guys gave today, like read for at least 10 minutes a day,
Hmm.
spend time with your children. Your studies, your
Regular
relationships are more
timings.
important than your studies are important, guys. We're not saying studies is not important. That's what is going to set your career in life, but it's not more than what your child is. Understand what your child is going through, his psychology. You as a parent, slow down a bit. And I think life is going to be wonderful and beautiful with all of this. So I think on
That
this
is
day,
very true.
this message is so very important for our audience and for the parents and for the children. And I think wonderful guys. We really had so many wonderful insights and inputs from you people.
It was
Thank you so much for
wonderful,
spending
insightful,
so much
informative.
time. Yes, Nashita, please go ahead, dear.
Yeah, I was saying it was so informative. As a parent, I was learning more. I was like
Yes,
understanding what to be done, what not to be done.
yes,
Wonderful ideas, wonderful tips, girls. Thank you to be part of us, part of We Do
yes,
Connect Dialogues, and have a
yes.
wonderful. Anything else
Thank you
to
for
add,
joining
ma'am?
us.
Anything
No,
else?
no, no. Thank you for joining us. It's a big thank you once again to all of you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, audience. Lovely audience we had, and we had wonderful comments coming up. Thank you so much for joining us, listening to us, and I think these tips are definitely going to help you. So do follow and stay connected with us on our LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook and Insta. We'll be coming with more such programs. Don't forget, September 7th, we have a workshop from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Dreamer to Entrepreneur, where you need to start your entrepreneurial journey. This workshop is going to give you a good insights on how you can start your entrepreneurial journey. So do join us and stay tuned and stay connected. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, and
Thank
good
you,
night.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Good night.